Welcome back to another exciting game of Not LCS, and tonight we have the redemption story of Vu and Big, who both came off of huge losses just recently. Vu dropping a massacre of a game against Spicy Pandas last night, and Big just dropping a pre 20-minute game to the side of WAP. So I'm really excited to see the redemption story that could be written between these two teams. Samantha, how do you feel about these bands going through right now?
I don't know, but I'm still trying to swallow my pill.
Fell enough. She's doing drugs, folks. You heard it here. We get lit over here on Not LCS. Um, the Vladimir Evelyn band, standard bands into the team of Big. Hentai Evelyn's known to play even the jungle, and Gragas GRP's Vladimir is pretty strong as well. Kaisa just standard ADC ban, and the side of Big banning out Hecarim Yone. Volibear, Hecarim just naturally one of the top junglers right now in the league, so a good solid ban.
Yes, AJ will never get his Vladimir ever.
Very true.
Just when you're playing against AJ, you ban the Vlad.
Or you first pick it.
That yeah, exactly.
Um,
The two options.
First pick Olaf coming outside on Vu. That would obviously go to the jungle for Pingu. Pingu performed really well on the Olaf pick last time he brought it out, so we'll see if he can recreate the magic that he had last time.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that until you mentioned it. We have seen an Olaf. Have we seen a Viego? I am not sure.
Um,
Has you guys have? I don't know. Everyone like bans Viego, picks Viego, but I don't know if I've seen any big Viego plays yet in the tournament. Like I don't know if I've seen any memorable Viego plays. Does that
uh,
make sense?
um, the best one we've seen thus far is the game last night against SP and Vu. They did pick Viego jungle, which it did perform pretty decently, but it just fell a little short toward the end.
Yeah.
But Big picking up Viego and Seraphine, both really powerful picks in the meta right now. I would assume Viego is going to go into the hands of Gragas because is known to play that occasionally, with Seraphine going into bot lane for Autumn.
Oh yeah, he has. Yeah, I think you're probably right on that. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. I have not seen them play those champs that often, so maybe they do. I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
it will definitely show once we get on the Rift whether or not they know what the champion does or not.
That is true. I like the Leona though.
hmm
You gotta love the Leona. Doesn't matter what team comp you're running, we love the Leona.
For sure. Whether or not she's support, top lane, or even jungle,
Yeah.
she locks down someone for 35 minutes, and it's pretty much a free kill. With Ornn solidifying their final pick in the top lane, Ornn's just a good, solid engaged champ, disengaged champ, and just a beefy frontliner. So, good safe
I
pick.
like Ornn. I like Ornn. Ornn's a fun champ. He's a fun champ to watch.
hmm
The plays you can make with Ornns.
For sure. Um,
Yep.
and the final pick for Big will be Vayne. Vayne showing to be a very popular pick in this uh, tournament.
Oh yeah.
Um, I haven't really seen Vayne perform in the middle ground. Either she gets really fed and is just broken, or she just ints her game away and just loses.
Yeah.
So I would like to see a Vayne transition to mid game without being spoon fed to see if someone can actually pilot the champion in a proper team fight.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Seraphine Vayne bot lane? I find that I don't know. It
Um,
seems kind of strange
well,
to me.
those as a combo aren't really good, but truthfully nothing goes well with Vayne, besides maybe Janna Lulu. But Vayne is one of those champions that you don't pick for lane. You just kind of want to chill back, let the plays happen, and just survive until mid game, and then that's where her power really shines. But depending on who Big decides to jungle, they could make some pretty good plays.
Yeah. Oh, also, we are informed that their fourth band is supposed to be Fizz,
And
and their last band was supposed to be Nasus, which I like those bands because I hate both those champs. So I wouldn't want to play against them, and they don't either. So
Yeah.
understandable. Pretty standard bands, I think, here on both teams, really.
Yeah. I, I agree with the NASA's ban too because NASA's kind of has this way with Orin where Orin can't really stop him from stacking those Qs. So it's a good ban. On the other side of Vu, banning out Shin and Wukong, which are also very good, powerful top lane picks in the meta right now, especially if you don't know how to handle a Shin top lane. Uh,
Yes, Shen, another pick or ban. Basically, every single it's Shen, it's Hecarim, it's Vayne, and we see all three of those in this game.
yeah,
I
they
like the Lilia, my favorite champ. I don't. We only seen one Lilia so far. I think I'm very excited. My
hopefully it
absolute
goes
favorite
better
champ in the game.
for
Yeah,
sure. She
true.
is definitely a fun champ. But when behind, she is not too enjoyable to play, as we saw last time she was actually played in the not LCS. So hopefully she can get it going a little bit better this time and make a bigger impact in the plays. And
I
Corki is the
really
final
hope
pick
so.
on Vu. Pure Loner has played Corki before and shown pretty good prowess on the champion, and the champion scales really well into the late game, mixing up the damage output along with the Varus. So all around a good solid team comp on Vu.
Yeah, so far I'm liking both teams. I
Ooh.
don't really know which one I'm liking better. Mordecai's here. That's interesting. I like the team comp. I like
So
the Lily, I like the Mord. That's yeah.
now this is interesting because you can have Mordekaiser or Viego go jungle or Lilia go jungle. So I'm really curious on where everyone's going. I would like to say Viego mid, Lilia jungle
Yeah.
with Mordekaiser top if we're talking standard. But we have seen some crazy role swaps and flip arounds. So it
That's
really
what
could
I would
be
bet.
anyone.
Yeah, that's what I bet too. Viego mid, Lilia jungle, Mord top. I mean Lilia can go top. I like playing Lilia top. Viego can go top, but I think we'll be seeing a more standard laning phase.
Um,
Penta says me and Fizz are
I'm
swapping.
very confused on what's going on. I guess
Me too.
they Fizz was originally going to jungle and they just didn't line up properly. I'm not sure in that regard.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I guess we'll see when we get into the game.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't seen these players play these champs that often, like I've said a million times, but I think it's gonna be Lilia. I'm so excited for Lilia. I would love to see Lilia
it,
polymorph.
it's been a lot of role swapping and swapping around
Yeah.
today in the not LCS. A lot of controversy around this idea. We'll hopefully have a resolution after the end of the weekend. But
Yeah. Yeah,
so
so
on paper, what do you
going
think about
to
these two team comps? How do you feel about Big?
I like Big. I don't know too much about like the individual matchups, like laning phase, but I like the Lilia, I like the Seraphine, I like the Wombos that can be done with those two alts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I think they're both pretty interesting team comps. We've been seeing a lot of Corki, and that's really weird to me too, because in solo queue, I never see anyone play Corki, so I'm all for it. And he popped off, like he said, he's been popping off on Corki, so I'd like to see that as well. I think V is going for more of a scaling comp. I guess they're. I don't know. What team do you think scales harder?
Um, well, based upon scaling, overall I like Big.
Yeah.
Mordekaiser, Lilia, Vayne, um, all three can just scale really well with items. So the longer the game goes, I think they have great growth and power. Whereas on the side of Vu, Varus, he's more of a dominant mid and early game champion. Same thing with Olaf, and Corki is your kind of late game security. So I would like to see Vu get just a little bit more aggressive in the earlier stages, and snowball a lead, and that way Big can't really come back on it because going into mid to late game evenly, I feel it's favored toward Big. Big just have a stronger team fight with the Seraphine, Lilia ult, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you never know. We've seen crazier things happen in this league, so we just have to watch and find out.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I like the Wombos on Team Big. I think VU are playing more like individually get fed and carry kind of champions, and Big's going for more like a team fighting. Like we're gonna isolate their carries, we're gonna Wombo combo our ults. VU doesn't have. I guess they have the Leona and the Orin. I don't know. I guess it's hard. Both teams are kind of. I feel like going for the same sort of thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yep, I definitely
you know,
can see it. Um, I think the big factor is whether or not Seraphine can hit the big ults into a Lily ult, and if Mordekaiser is able to single out a crucial target in the middle of the team fights.
yeah, I think that if, like you said, if Big executes that correctly, I think they'll be winning most of the team fights. But
Mhm.
a couple missteps, they get huge Leona Ornolted, and then Corki with the damage, it could go very wrong. But if they're able to execute it, I think they may have the better team comp. I like both team comps honestly, but I am leaning a bit more towards Big. Maybe I'm biased because they have a Lilia. Like I love Lilia so much, but I don't know. I think they're both gonna be interesting team comps, to say the least. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. I'm excited to see it. And based upon the games we've had this weekend, it's been a very exciting weekend for our league. So I can't wait to see what these teams have to offer.
For sure. Yeah. Who are you rooting for this game?
Um, like I said, I like big, and I like synergy between teams. So
Hmm.
big offer a lot of synergy between their ultimates and stuff. So if they can coordinate, and I like seeing the coordination between solid teams, it just looks really clean. But
For sure. Yeah, I guess you could say the same about VU though. They have shown a lot of synergy. They play together all the time.
yeah,
Um, they
for
have
sure.
good communication and rotations and stuff. Both teams do.
Yeah,
I
they
think it's
just
gonna be a pretty even matchup in that regard.
very true, very true.
I think it could be a pretty close game if both teams execute what they're trying to go for with their team comps. But like we said, if they fall behind, if the Lilia falls behind, if the Corki falls behind, and they don't get fed like they need to, it could go the opposite way. Because we all know who Lilia is when she has no kills.
Yeah, it does not feel good. I've played it
Yeah.
when on release, and I thought the champion was horrible.
Yeah, I
So
didn't play the game to see that, but for sure, yeah. Like I have played so much Leah, you can either one shot someone or she doesn't have the range to get close, so you just get melted, you do no damage. You're basically just an R bot at that point, and
yeah,
yeah.
just hopefully put them to sleep like they do you in a second.
Yeah. I guess at least with Seraphine, she doesn't, she's useful at all times. It doesn't matter. She has her heal, she has her ult, she has her root. It doesn't matter. But Lily, on the other hand, is she's gonna need to get fed, or we will not be seeing much use of that.
Yeah, game plan going in, I really think big. They should feel comfortable just farming, kind of just relaxing,
Mhm.
scaling up their champions because, like we've said, their team fight is just if they just combo it, they instantly win the team fight. Because by the time they
Mhm.
wake up from that lily asleep, half their team's going to be permanently gray screened.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think VU should try to shut them down early, shut them down before they get to that scaling, and they have a lot of early game potential. So I
Yep.
think the best way that they're going to win this game is shut down who they need to shut down the carries, make sure that they get fed before we go into late game, because late game is going to be a little rocky for VU.
Yeah. Like the power of Leona Varus, even with Olaf ganking, they should have a really easy time getting picks on the early stages of the game. And they just need to utilize that, push the lead, and just snowball it into a victory. But we are about to load onto the Rift once we get the spectator delay over with. But until then, we're just going to take a quick intermission, and we will bring it
Bye.
back to you once we load on.
Goodbye.
And we're back onto the Summoner's Rift with this game between.
VU and Big.
There you go.
I'll finish your sentence for you.
Caster
It's our
coordination.
favorite teams. No, I don't know. I
I'm
don't
lo-
call it.
I'm definitely looking forward to this game. Like I said, both coming off of huge losses. If no one has witnessed, um, Big coming off a pre 20-minute loss, and VU coming off a long massacre 74 kill game loss. Both have something to prove. Big was coming up into the standings trying to solidify themselves as a top team, and Vu falling a little short. Hopefully coming back with some strength, and they're looking for an early game invade. Seraphine might be caught out, but no, she spots this one out just in time and then disengages.
3-man route. I guess they kind of lined up for it, but
Yeah.
still, you know.
And we got a little action of Mordekaiser trading into the Orin. Nothing much will come of it. I would have liked to see Leona start either, and she just could have engaged onto the Seraphine, maybe getting some early summoners. But
yeah, that's true. Leona, I like to see Leona invades.
yeah, definitely a strong champion for it.
Got something out of it, but
Crucial that Hentai Evelyn did opt into going cleanse here, so he will have to be really crucial on his timings though, because Leona has like 37 CCs. So which one will you decide to cleanse?
true, and she's fast with them too. You really gotta be on that.
Yep.
I like it though. I like the cleanse pick, is because it like the Leona. You need it for laning phase. I think that's a good.
For sure, because you get caught out once against Leo, and she will punish you. Good early trades from Hentai Evelyn,
Really good. Yeah.
which is crucial because once level 2 happens, I feel like Leona's just going to go heavily aggro.
Yeah, I think they're playing this really good early.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, they need to. Actually, no. We were saying that VU needs to, shut them down before they scale, but it looks like it's actually going the opposite way.
Mm-hmm. It was good for them to push to early level 2, so that way they had advantage into the Leona matchup, taking away a little bit of her early game strength.
And with the Seraphine, I mean, you can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Level 2 Seraphine, pretty scary.
It's.
How do you think? I'm sorry, I'll let you finish, and then I'll ask.
Go ahead.
Okay. How do you think the Ornn and the Mordekaiser matchup goes? I'm not too familiar with that. I think.
Well, it's supposed to be Mordekaiser favored, especially since the recent Mordekaiser buffs to his Q. But it looked like Mordekaiser opting into a really poor trade, not aware that all 19 minions were hitting him at the same time, so he ends up losing the trade that he started out winning.
Yeah.
Got to be aware of those minions.
Almost good. It's almost good, buddy. You almost had it, but yes, do be aware of those minions. That's something I'm also horrible for. Just fighting the minion wave, Why not?
Interesting that the Corki's really not using his range advantage onto the Viego here.
Yeah. Should be poking him out.
Oh, we look like we have Lilia wrapping around behind the Leona Varus. We're looking for an early gank. Maybe something's going to come of it. And she is wrapping around on it. Leona did engage. I think this might be a kill on Leona. Leona does flash, but it might not be enough. Vayne, one more auto tech, but the heal does come through, and they do not get the kill. And Lilia walks away with her life, and Vayne walks away with her life. Very close, and we end up getting all summoners from the bot lane, whereas the Ignite and Flash are still on Varus and Leona. Well played to survive that game.
Yeah, that was.
We have Olaf on the other side. He flashes in. He gets condemned away and gives first blood over to Hentai Evelyn. Oh, you hate to see it happen. Did not anticipate the shield coming out from Seraphine, keeping the Vayne alive for the first blood.
Sure. Yeah, that. And we hate. Well, depending on what team you are, we hate to see the Vayne getting fed early. But Big loves to see it.
It seems
first blood over to Hentai Evelyn.
it seems to be a consistent story for
Yeah,
Vayne players. They just get early kills and then just snowball.
for sure. Yeah, we've seen a lot of that, and we've seen a lot of Vayne,
Yep,
and we've seen a lot of Hentai Evelyn as well.
for
Getting
sure.
him first blood. And the Ord has no mana, but he wants that XP. He's
And
saying.
that's the good thing of Orin. You can build items in lane. He opts into a mana gem and a null magic mantle to help sustain and survive a little bit. Actually, he's opting to back. Interesting use of his passive. He uses his passive at backs anyway, so I don't quite understand that decision. But well,
Yeah, I don't even know what Orin's passive is.
oh, for people that don't know, his passive allows him to build items in lane,
Oh yes,
which
yes,
is
yes.
pretty
Okay.
huge. Like for example, if you have no mana, you can build the a mana gem and such, but if you use it and then just go back anyway, you kind of wasted the cooldown of your passive, and you don't get much value from it.
I forgot that was his passive.
Yeah, it's a really cool passive.
Yeah, I agree.
And once he hits level 14, he will be able to upgrade mythic items for his team as well, which is going to be huge upgrades.
For sure. Who do you think will be looking to upgrade?
Immediately, probably the Varus or Corki, depending on who's ahead. I would say Corki just to create a little bit more snowballing power for him.
The damage dealers.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I would second that as well.
Now,
And we
knowing that there's no summoners on the spot lane, I would like to see some type of action go down soon.
Yeah,
But
they pop all. Yeah, yeah. Literally no sums are left. Right. Yeah, you're right on that. Good luck,
Viego
ganks.
looks like they're looking to go ahead and get this early Infernal Dragon with Olaf just now crossing his red buff. I think it should be theirs pretty easily, and they do secure the Infernal. With Infernal down, we have Ocean Drake coming up next, which is not something major to fight for, so if you're not in a position to get it for free, don't die over it, for sure.
Yeah. Don't die for drags you don't need.
Yeah, they're just not as strong as they once were, for sure.
I wish I would have played when they were worth dying for, but
A little bit more exciting back then, for sure.
more team fights. Corki has been using his range a bit more though. He's been poking him out a bit more. I feel like he still has a massive range advantage and should be forcing the Viego out of lane a bit more than he is, but
For sure.
he's been doing it.
And you speak it into existence because he does take a decent trade into Viego, chunking him out about 25% of his HP. But Viego with insane sustain, just healing it right back up.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, big trade coming out on the side of Orin, putting Mordekaiser down to about 30% HP. Viego's just one of those champions I don't like currently. Mostly due to his passive. The ability to take over other champions is a bit obnoxious. Untargetable abilities just make the game kind of unfun to play.
Yeah.
You're on the verge of killing a man and he just becomes untargetable
Yeah.
for about 2 seconds.
True.
It's a good stall for cooldowns and whatnot. So
Yeah,
I like
he's definitely been huge in the meta recently.
Mm-hmm.
I hear about how broken he is all the time.
Permanently banned in my solo queue games.
Yeah.
Not much has been happening really. Jungler's AFK farming. Olaf looks like he is pathing toward top. So we might have a fight onto the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser does have ult to isolate, but Olaf is not who you want to ISO. Probably get a flash out. Olaf answers the flash and immediately kills him. Pingu starting his snowball effect.
Yeah, I think that gank was perfectly timed.
Good trades coming in from the side of Corki, almost killing the Viego. And we get a sleep coming down onto Varus, but he gets chain CC'd by the Seraphine, but he does flash out. He follows up with the ult. Clint's coming in a little late from Evelyn, and she does fall. A TP coming in, but Orin wants some more. He hits a
Oh.
big ult onto the Lilia. Lilia flashes. She's 1 HP. He flashes to secure the kill, but should trade back the kill into the Seraphine. Overall, a good trade for the Varus and Orin.
Yeah, the Seraphine is not the person we want seeing getting that kill.
No, not at all. She's just going to have a little bit bigger healing. That's about it.
Yeah, she got that last hit, and the tower just finished the Ornn off. Well, it is what it is. I mean, a kill's a kill.
Yep, that's the way it goes.
Yep.
And it was a good timing for the Orin because he did have Mordekaiser pushed in, so Mordekaiser's not able to get any turret plates. A real advantage from the TP down on Orin.
Yeah, for sure. That was a really good TP. Especially with his ult. He can do stuff like that. Dive under tower, it doesn't matter, he's Orin. they were completely under their tower, but like I said, doesn't matter.
And we're going into about 11 minutes into the game. Look at how lane states are. About 10 CS lead in the top lane, but Orin does manage to pick up a kill, so evening out that lane. 1 kill each for the junglers and tied in CS, so they're about equal. Mid lane, about even as well, but Corki does have a kill to his name, so he's a little bit ahead. And we look like we might have a fight. Viego fighting onto the Olaf. Olaf nearly killing the Viego, but Viego just killing the Corki and using that beautiful passive that he has to be untargetable and get out of that sticky situation. And he is still pursuing the Olaf. Can he find the kill? One more auto attack, he has him, and he cannot secure it.
That was definitely
Leona 3-man ult decides to engage onto it. Single man sleep. I don't know about that Lilia, and Varus should be able to clean this up. Varus picks up Lilia, picks up 1. Can he kill the Viego? He picks up a double kill. Huge coming from the Varus. I love the energy from this Leona. And good TP securing the 3rd kill for the Corki. Huge Leona ult. Jeez, that 3-man ult. That is not easy to hit. All 3 got stunned, stalling for the Varus to show up and clean house.
That was very, very clean. When did they get vision?
I don't think she had vision. She just winged it.
Really? Huh.
There is no wards there, so it was for the most part dark.
Unless they were cleared, yeah, which I'm pretty sure they weren't. That was a very impressive ult coming out from Leona. She just guessed.
That was good. Right. That was well played.
Yeah, huge trade for Vio. Giving him a 2k gold lead. Just, I mean...
hitting close to mid-game as we transition. What team do you think, after all the talks we had, think actually looked pretty good going into this mid-game?
I don't know. For me, I love that Leona play. That was huge. That was a huge trade. I mean, personally, I think VU is looking better. But I think Big has huge team play potential as long as they play it right.
As you speak, their Orin ult trying to punish this Mordekaiser too close to the turret and does get taken down with ease. Didn't mean to cut you off there, but some action keeps happening. I'm loving this weekend. Everyone just keeps fighting, and it's just a bloodbath weekend for sure. Before we go into playoffs, it seems like every team's trying to show what they have to offer when we get into these playoffs next weekend.
Yeah, so far, I've seen there's some impressive. We're only 14 minutes in, but I've been liking some of the plays on both teams, honestly.
Viego opts to go in, and then Olaf was there, but nothing comes of it because he has 13 dashes because he is a new champion.
Yes, that is true. He is not an easy one to gank.
But I will agree with you. Leona making that huge play. If she can continue to make big, impactful plays like that, using her catch potential, they definitely have a huge shot at winning this.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good after that one, like I said. And I think we almost saw first turret going to the Ornn. We still might see it, but...
I have to say, the side of Big, I really need to see something more from this Lilia. Single sleeping Leona is not the choice you want to make. Making the tank nap does not do much of anything because she is the tank for a reason. She would soak that damage.
That is true. And, you know, if she might have hit a better Q and hit a bigger sleep on that, they might not have lost that trade, or
For
at least not as
sure.
hard.
If Varus took a nap, I think it looks a little different.
Yeah, a lot different.
But that being said, we do still have the Seraphine R and the Lilia combo option. So anything's possible as long as this game, you know, stalls out. And that you
sure.
are right. First turret does go over to Ornn.
Yes. That's kind of that's what I'm excited to see from Big. They might be a bit behind, but I really like the team fight potential. It's just if Lilia hits another, you know, single person sleep,
Mm-hmm.
it might be go and not it might not go like I hope, but if they can execute it,
Leona getting the cleanse out on the Vayne. Vayne getting poked out to 50%.
Yeah, that was a good cleanse. He probably would have died without that.
For
I like
sure.
the cleanse pick a lot.
The cleanse is crucial.
Leona.
But
yeah, sure.
now cleanse is down. Leona can look.
Yeah, should be. What's the? Do you know the cleanse cooldown?
Cleanse
I don't.
cooldown is 210 seconds, so a little over 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. So Leona's ult will definitely be up beforehand.
Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe. Hopefully they'll be looking to take advantage of that, because the cleanse is huge for the Leona. Like I've said time and time again. See, the Corki has been doing what we wanted him to do: constantly poke out the Viego, abuse that range, force back. Yep, looks like that. Force him to back. And he may actually lose his tower for that back. Oh, he's not. No.
And Pingu diving the Viego. Like you said, the poke coming out from the Corki, setting up the easy dive for the Olaf to secure that kill. And
yeah.
Pingu's showing why he loves this Olaf pick.
Yeah, I like his Olaf pick too. I'm liking the gank so far from him. That's good timing. So we may see. Oh no. I was worried they were gonna get caught up there, but looks like they might still actually be getting caught up here. No?
A big fight coming out, a two-man charm, but I think it might be too little too late. Lilia does pick up one on the backside of things. Can she secure the Olaf? One more auto attack, and she does. There's a shutdown coming out the side of Seraphine. Flash coming out from Lilia, and she does secure the kill on the Varus. Huge shutdown, and Ornn is here, but he just flashes out because he's a little late on the fight. And like you said, a big cannot be counted out. A big team fight. Seraphine ult hitting 2. Lilia getting a really great 2-man sleep. Taking 4 for 1. I'll take that trade any day. And they secured the dragon.
We love to see it. We love to see the huge Seraphine ult just absolutely changing the fight. I was a little scared for Big there, but like I said, they have Seraphine.
Yep. That was such a big ult from her. She can change fights.
And she actually got a double kill from that, which I find kind of funny.
And Lilia got the shutdown on Varus, so a good amount of gold going into a crucial carry.
Yeah, she needs that. I think Lilia's a good person for that gold to go into.
Yeah, because once she gets a couple items, she will be a force to reckon with.
I'm really liking Big's amount of vision, especially maybe a bit too much vision in the bot side river. They got it completely covered.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for people to gank them, even with them being no flashes.
Sure.
So walking into 20 minutes, let's see.
Yeah, pretty even game, like I said.
Yep, 32k over to the side of Vu, but Big is right behind him at 30.7k.
Yes. Even after that huge team fight, they are still a bit behind on gold. But they don't look like they are. They're playing it out pretty well. Right now, I don't know, who do you think has this game?
And as you speak, there's a Varus ultimate, but once again, cleanse coming in crucially, and just gets cleansed off. And I
Cleanse is back up,
think
yeah.
Leona flashed for that too, so big cooldowns used. Um, like we said, if Big can line it up, they do look like the preferred team.
Mhm.
I think Orange's gonna have to be a part of more team fights and get there sooner rather than later if they really want to have a good chance of winning these fights.
For sure, yeah. The Orange just kind of been, on his little island getting first turret, and he is behind in CS though, not by much. But he hasn't really
Olaf
been
opting to
present
go
in the
in, instantly killing the Seraphine, and they have a potential kill onto Lily. They do manage to secure that, but then Leona gets secured by the Vayne. Vayne walking up onto the Corki. A couple more autos, she might be able to do it, and she does secure a double kill, and Viego cleans up the Olaf. So it is a, once again, 4 for 1, or 4 for 2 rather. Lily and Seraphine dropping, but getting the rest of their team fed.
Yeah.
Big kills coming for Vayne, getting her a little bit closer to her snowball items.
Yeah, she is. She is a decent amount ahead of her laner, which is good for Vayne. Getting fed like she needs to, and that was another huge trade from the side of Big, hitting those ults just like they need to. Um, yeah, I would agree with you. I think we need to see Ornn a bit more present in these team fights, especially with his amount of CC. They need it. I'm hoping that we'll be seeing some more rotations from him in the late game to help them out, because I don't know if they're winning the team fights without him.
Yeah, we look at the gold. Ornn does have like 1.3k over his counterpart, but it's not really going to do much as long as he remains on his island. Meanwhile, Lilia has a slight edge on the Olaf. Mid lane will be favored slightly to the Corki, so maybe Corki gets a little bit more impactful on these team fights as these item spikes a little bit sooner. But that being said, Vayne sitting nearly 1.5k ahead of Davaris at this point.
Yeah, 3-1. It always looks like Corky's gonna get caught up, and then he just dashes.
Yeah,
Such an annoying champ to play against.
it's just one of those cooldowns you have to play around, and once it's down, you have that small window to try to punish.
Yeah.
But not much
Otherwise, you're not
CC.
touching him.
Yes, not much CC though on the side of Big, so it's going to be very hard for them to catch him. That's why it's crucial for the Seraphine and the Lily to link up. And we do see Mordekaiser roaming down for this next dragon, and Mordekaiser has an interesting interaction where if he does ult the jungler has no capability of smiting the dragon.
We see all 5 players from Big in the bot side ready to contest. And Ornn he's been slow pushing just about this whole game.
Yeah, he's about to get an inhib turret, which wouldn't be a bad trade, but his team has to understand this and not fight. If you
Yeah,
want, just give the dragon and let your Ornn take the inhib. That's fine. But if they
exactly.
choose to take this fight, they will lose the outright fight.
Yeah, as we've seen. Too.
Looks like they're calling the fight. Olaf nearly already dead, but Vayne might overstepped and gets one shot. Oh man, and then there goes Lilia, and Viego's trying to do what he can, but it might be too little, too late, and Viego falls as well. Wow, that is a 3 for 1.
That was good. And as we see, Ornn joined the team fight, and they won the team fight.
Yeah,
So.
very good TP by him. Creating the pressure, luring the Mordekaiser away from the Drake, and able to get the picks needed to win that
Yeah,
team fight.
very well played from the Ornn there, and now they're just gonna siege the turrets, getting even a bit more ahead in their lead.
Yeah, they definitely are ahead on the side of turrets with 6 structures to their name versus only 1.
Oh yeah, and that's gonna create. It's gonna be hard. Big's gonna have to get some huge picks, get some huge team fight ults out here, and maybe they'll be able to catch up. But yeah, they're definitely dominating in turrets. Dominating. I don't know. I still think Big could come back from this.
They definitely have the team fight
sure.
for it, for sure.
For sure.
I think
As
they
long as
just were a little confident, not respecting the Ornn TP there.
Yeah, Ornn had TP up, and they were aware of that, but they weren't sure if he was going to use it, but I'm glad he did. It was a very well played from him.
For sure. Creating a lot of pressure and threat onto that inhib, drawing back the Mordekaiser and making the team fight in their favor.
But Big did get the dragon from that. Now it's only their third Drake, so still not worth it, but they are soul points, so that could be huge for them. At least they got the dragon.
Mountain Soul currently is by far the best soul right now, so if they do manage to secure this next Drake coming up, that would be really big.
For sure. Help them out a bit more, and yeah. I'm liking the split pushing though. We're seeing like a lot of split pushing from the Ornn.
Interesting. Shodbo coming out on the side of Corki, which you don't see too often. It looks like he's going for more of a survivability thing, which is understandable with how much damage the other team has to put out. And it looks like we're picking out Lilia here. She didn't realize that's now the enemy's jungle.
For sure.
So they should be looking to get this Baron now that they picked off this Lilia.
Yeah, showing why getting that turn advantage is so huge.
Lets them walk in, get good vision. But it doesn't look like Big's willing to give this up. Lilia hard engages onto the Viego. It looks like Viego will be 100-0, and he's completely gone. They're turning back for the Baron. That is Vayne ultimate down as well. At this point, you need to lick your wounds and go back.
Yeah,
but it looks like they're not done yet. Vayne's positioning forward. Ornn does still have ult, so if they miss position, Ornn's looking with ult, and they should down the Baron, and they're just going to recall. No, it looks like they're looking to push into the enemy base with this wave coming up.
Yeah.
Interesting. Most teams generally reset after. There we go.
They're just a little late.
Yeah. Go ahead and reset. Spend the gold you got off of those couple picks.
Yeah. That's gonna be a huge Baron push. They're already so ahead in turrets.
Yeah, you can't run through your jungle alone at this stage of the game. It's just too much threat, especially on the side of Olaf or Leona, just gonna walk you.
Yeah.
So, even though it seems out of reach for Big, if they do line up the ults and bring a little bit of synergy into their team play, they definitely can end up coming out ahead on one of these team fights.
Yeah, for sure. Couple Wombas, couple good picks. Good change the game.
And that being said, it looks like they might be picking out the Viego here, but Viego just does a shroud and takes a run. But that being said, we do have Mountain Drake coming up in 30 seconds. And with Viego pushed off and Mordekaiser top, they should have an easy time walking in here and getting in complete vision.
Yeah,
Ornn's ulting, looking to get a pick. He single man ults into Leona combo, but yes, they connect and pick out the Vayne instantly. And Corki's showing why he's a late game champion. Snipes the Seraphine from downtown right before taking a nap. Huge Corki R.
I'll have to replay that one. We love to see the Corki snipes. Corki's such a funny champ to me. I don't know why. Just something about him.
He's a very fun champ, especially if he gets into this stage of the game. 3 items on Corki is nothing to play with.
Late game Corki. Now, how do you feel about the shield bow? I know you mentioned that earlier, but
it's a good safe pick, but I think you expected a little bit more from the enemy team. But the shield bow is not showing any use because his team is just rolling straight through the enemy side, and it looks like Seraphine ults, but only lands onto the Ornn, and it looks like they instantly trade the Corki for the Vayne, and we're continuing the team fight. Olaf, full steam ahead, managed to pick up the Viego. We got a GA popping, and that should be all.
We needed that Seraphine ult to hit, and it just
It just
Yeah,
didn't hit like we needed it to for that team fight.
they did not line up the abilities for sure. And it
Yeah,
should be all she wrote because I don't think they have the wave clear to deal with these minions.
I
But
don't think
she
so either.
flashes in, gets a 4-man sleep, Zonia's, but there's no turret, so there's gonna be no damage. And
Yeah,
that's
huge
a
ult.
FF.
Is it? Oh, that would be
And
it.
that is it. The side of Vu able to pick up a win here, getting a little redemption. 23 kills to 13 with an AK gold lead. Really solid game. Well executed. Pingu's showing why he's very strong on the Olaf.
For
Um,
sure. I think they played that really well.
I agree. So that being said, end of the game, who do you think takes home player?
Uh, hmm. See, I think they all played really well. I think the Olaf is a good candidate. I feel like I've been talking about Orin this whole time. I don't know why, but I
Yeah,
feel like Orin did a really good job of shifting the other players to one side of the map, and then their team capitalized on that. I think he played the map really well. Some huge TPs, and then obviously Crispy Chicken with the huge Leona ults, getting them fed early was huge as well. Um,
yeah.
and
I agree. Like I we talked about Orin a lot, right? Like once he put his presence into these team fights, it was just completely different.
yeah, completely.
Vu lost back-to-back team fights when his presence wasn't there, and immediately when he shows up, it's like night and day. For me, it has to be Orin.
Yeah, okay. I was kinda I've been talking about Orin this whole time, but I was kinda yeah, I'm kinda leaning towards the
Yeah,
Orin, we were
yeah,
saying they needed him for the team fights, and as soon as they got him, I think they won every single team fight after that,
for
so
sure, for sure.
and he did a good job of getting the first turret and putting a lot of pressure on the top side early,
hmm
and yeah, I guess I'll have to get the Orin in here then.
Let's see.
Yeah. You just hear me typing? Can you hear me typing, like, on the stream? Can you
I don't know.
is it loud? I guess I should be more specific than we want Orin. Where is he? Got him in here. Corky? I think the Corky played that well as well, but
He played his role. He did a lot of damage for sure.
yeah, I actually didn't take a look at the damage charts. But my game was frozen, so I won't be doing that. But yeah, I think the Corky played well. Just kind of sitting in the back line and chunking everyone out. That was good as well. Everyone played really well.
It was a very good team play for sure.
Yeah, they definitely showed their synergy and they showed that
And let's move
they play well
him
together.
in.
Okay. Hello,
Welcome, Mr. Orn.
you're here.
How are you
Hello.
doing, buddy, after that huge win?
Uh, doing all right. You know, it's a little salty because Young got banned, but it's fine.
Fair enough. Or got stuck on Orn duty, but luckily you performed his task very well. Going into that game, understandably, y'all just came off of kind of a tough loss, 74 kill game into SP, and Big coming off of a tough loss pre 20 minutes. I felt like it was a kind of a statement game between the two teams, and y'all came out ahead. Um, do you feel like this helps boost y'all's confidence a little bit going into the playoffs next weekend?
Yes, I know we've really gotten on each other about last game because there was multiple instances where we could have just ended. There was even myself and our mid laner at the time. We had TP. We could have ended,
hmm
but didn't for some reason. And after that, we had a good talk, and I guess everything's settled now.
For sure, y'all showed really great team play. Um,
Yeah, looks like it's settled.
yeah, you put forth a lot of map pressure through the top lane, and once you showed your presence in these team fights, it was like night and day. It wasn't even a contest for the other team.
Yeah,
So that being said,
sorry.
you no, you're fine. Your team, if you had anybody to commend or like, I guess, give some hype behind, who else on your team felt like just stepped up and made huge plays to solidify your win?
That's a good question. Yeah. Do you think you deserved MVP or do you think someone else should have gotten crowned?
I mean, in the top lane, you pretty much think that you always deserve MVP when you do well. But
The answer is yes.
yeah, I'd say probably to our Leo. She didn't get super tilted after doing a couple misplays throughout the game, but then she came back when I was with her, and we just performed as a giant front line for the rest of our team.
For sure, she did really good. There was one moment I want to point out that she was at red buff and hit a huge 3-man CC and just turned the fight and allowing Vars to pick up 2 kills, and I think Corki TP'd for the third. So she played really well as well. And going into the final question, is there any teams that you're looking forward to playing, or any type of maybe crazy things you are thinking about pulling out now that we're going into a best of series, best of 3, best of 5s for next week's playoffs?
I mean, I'd like to go against Wopstop since I didn't really get the chance. And we had let our Yamo go because of some beef, I guess. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And we're really confused, I guess, for the other teams because I know the power rankings were a little different. This team was ranked ahead of us, and it really didn't seem like it.
I see
So
you guys saying that in the chat right now.
yeah,
I
they're crazy.
find like every week, we're seeing like different power rankings come out. Like one team can be really strong one week and then go 0-2 the next. So I find that really interesting. Like you guys just came from a really hard loss and then a super hard win, and I think it's keep them guessing. Like
For sure, especially going into playoffs for the final weekend. Definitely some exciting stuff. Any last words like for the league that you want to shout out before we go into these playoffs?
Remember, at the end of the day, it's just a game, y'all.
That's
We're here
it.
to have fun.
For sure. And it's been a fun league for me, I know for sure. I think that's all I have. So thank you so much for joining us after that great win.
yes, great
Thank you.
job. We'd love to see the Orn.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. And that being said, that's all for us after that huge win over Big. VU showing why they're one of the top teams once again after the big loss they had. So, Sam, anything you want to add?
Not a whole lot. I'm just excited because we're getting ready for playoffs, and I'd like to see some crazy stuff happen.
For sure. Well, thank you all. It was a great game to cast and be a part of. And until next time, I'll catch you tomorrow for the All-Star event, I believe at 8 p.m.
Yes. And I will watch from the sidelines and cheer him
So
on.
don't forget to tune into that because that's going to be some exciting, crazy stuff I'm sure coming. So until next time, have a good one.
Peace.